Hello, good afternoon. It is afternoon, isn't it? 2 o'clock. How are we all? Just having a quick lunch break. What a manic day. As I always like to say, the day after the shambles of the weekend before. Hello, big up to everyone. Hope everyone is well. It is Monday. And as always, it was a circus at Tottenham Hotspur this weekend. It really is getting to the point now, isn't it, where we literally are a circus. We should call ourselves Zippo's Hotspur, shouldn't we, after the old Zippo circus? Look, it's I'll say it as I always say. First of all, welcome to Football Heritage TV. Thank you for your support over the last week with the branding change. I've really appreciated it. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the heritage subscribers. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Much appreciated. Look, let me start by saying this. I feel like obviously Conte is going to be the talking point, right? Because of the antics that happened on Saturday night. And we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to make it very clear because I keep hearing people saying that I only think it's Conte. I'm going to say this right now. People can clip me saying this on my own channel, not on anyone else's show, my channel, saying I don't think Conte is the main problem at Tottenham Hotspur. I've never thought that Antonio Conte is the main problem at Tottenham Hotspur. What I do believe, though, is that what I said from the start, that I do believe this was a completely wrong fit for our club. Wrong manager, wrong time, wrong chairman. Just it was all wrong. And I've maintained that throughout. Antonio Conte is a winner. We know the man's a winner. He's won wherever he's gone. He's won wherever he's gone. I'm not doubting the man's a winner, the same way Jose Mourinho was a winner. What I am doubting is, were Spurs set up to have a winner? Were we? We weren't. We weren't set up. And unfortunately, I liken Conte. Conte is Erling Haaland. And what I mean by that is, Erling Haaland's not the guy that does all the work. If I liken a midfield and defence to building a club, Conte's not that guy. Conte's the guy that finishes it for you. Conte's the guy that says, okay, you're struggling to get over the line. Give me that squad. I'll do it. But I don't think Spurs were struggling to get over the line. I don't think we were anywhere near the line. And that is the problem for me when you hire a manager like Antonio Conte. So let's get into it. Was it good what he said at the weekend? I'm going to go with yes. And I'm also going to go with no. And I'm going to explain why. I've been very, very vocal about I'd love this manager to call the board out. I'd love this manager to do a press conference and say everything for how it is. The question is, the more I go back and listen to the words he's used, the more I go back and look at the context of what he said, I don't feel this interview was that. I feel this was a very reactive message that was all over the place in terms of what he was trying to say. I don't make him wrong for bursting out at all. I don't. What I will say is this, before I say hello to a few people in the chat. For me, I think the backtracking, doing what he did, start that again. If he had done what he did on Saturday afternoon and then turn around and go, for that reason, I'm leaving, I'd build a statue of Antonio Conte. He'd be my hero forever. Because then you've really stuck it to the board. You stuck to your guns. You're telling everyone, I don't want this. I don't need this. This is a waste of time. I am leaving. I would turn around and go, big up. Because in that moment of time, forget that I don't like his football. Yeah, that doesn't come into this scenario. At that moment, I go, fair play to you. Well done. You have stood up to the board. You've walked out and you've told them how it is. But what we've got instead is him clarifying to the board that it wasn't a dig at them and it was a dig at the players. Now, you can read into what he said however you want and say, well, no, it was definitely a dig at the board, which there were digs. Of course, there were digs and jibes. But the fact that he's had to go in and clarify that it wasn't a dig at the board tells you it's not this great power move from Conte that I think everyone's trying to make it out to be. I think it was a very frustrated man, a very frustrated football manager losing the plot in the moment. And that's fair enough. I'm not knocking that. Fair enough. But Is it this great big power move? I don't think it is. If he hadn't have gone in and explained, if he had just said, yeah, I do not like the way you guys work. This is not what I work with. This is not what I can achieve at the club. I'm all for it. Walk out. But off the back of that, I'll ask the question of the title. Is his position now untenable? How does the club move forward from that? Again, I'm not saying he's right or wrong what he said, but how does the club move forward with that? The players, yeah, of course, some of the players can be thrown under a bus, of course. And that's Conte's right as the manager to do that. Whether I think that's right or wrong and whether you think it's right or wrong is irrelevant. But how do the players react to that? Does that spur them on, pardon the pun? Does that make those players go, we're going to show him? Or does it make them go, wow, he's just publicly thrown us under a bus? I don't know. I don't know. Because the fact that so many of these players have got away with these performances for so long shows you that they're weak-willed. So I'm guessing it's going to be option 2, where they'll down tools even more, if that's the phrase you want to go with. The whole thing's a mess. Let's have a breather for a minute and say, hi, Sue. Big up, Sue. Dave Hamilton said, yeah, the players will drop off mentally. Chris has become become a YouTube member. Listen, big up, Chris. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Hope you're well, my friend. Much appreciated. If anyone else would like to become a channel member, just go to my bio and click on memberships. And we'll be doing some member-only shows in the near future as well. So it'll be a bit more small, a bit more intimate, but a member-only show. Perchy has said, big up the chat. Make sure you smash the likes. Yeah, people smash the likes. Pardon me, apologies. I don't know what that was. What I've noticed lately, everyone's getting very, very stingy with the likes and the subscribes. Let's smash that like button, people. There's 115 of you in here and only 31 likes. Danny has said, I honestly thought he would be gone today. I'm shocked he's still here. Chris has gone on to say, disillusioned, fed up of players throwing managers under the bus. And the worst thing is these Deadwood players still are living. Apart from that, all good. Yeah. It's strange. Just Flyers just pointed out to Dan that the day is not over. He could still go. I don't think he will. I don't see the point at the moment, and we'll come to that in a minute. Mr. Pads has said, much respect, Sava. Heard he had a crisis meeting with Levy, and he clarified he wasn't having digs at him. So I reckon he'll stay to the end of the season, but who knows? And this is what I was just saying just now. This is the disappointing thing for me, is that if you're going to go all guns blazing and it is an attack on the board, you don't then retract it a day later, do you? You stick to it. So I'm just not sure where I stand with any of this, to be honest. TC Barton is certain that he's going to go today. Maybe later today. Lots of guessing. Guys, girls, ladies, gents. Never dull at Spurs, is it? It's never a dull day. Hod God 10 has said, no point in staying. Let's bring in a new manager while there's only international football at the moment. There is that way of looking at it. As Pete was saying yesterday on the Spurs Review, he believes that is why Conte chose that game to have that rant, because he said that the international games were coming up and it gives a couple of weeks to tie some loose ends. Who knows? Stuart said, Conte out, Levy out, Enoch out, Dyer out, Chirpy in. Yeah, I'm all for that. Stuart, I'm the same as you, mate. I've said it time and time again. I don't want the manager here, the owners here, or the director of football. I don't want any of them here. I think the whole club is a circus. I don't see why Antonio Conte would sign a new contract and stay. Lateness is greatness. Rams has just called us bottle jobs. I think he's an Arsenal fan. Big up to you, Rams. Tequila said, time is money, Sav. Got places to be. Levy's the hunt. Haven't we all? Chris has said, it's all very well having crisis meeting with the board, but now he's throwing the players to the lions. The players do what they do best and screw the manager over. I'll ask you this question. Let's look at it from another point of view. I'm just sitting on the fence here looking at different points of view. If your manager did that to you publicly, would you play for him? I don't mean in football. I mean in any walk of life. If my manager at a board meeting threw me under the bus for something, would I then go in and work next day and go, I'm going to work really hard for this guy? I don't know. I'm just asking the question. Peter McCormack says, Conte will leave. He will go somewhere else and win something while these players will remain on easy street with fourth place being their only target to achieve. Just Fly said, I reckon it'll be Ryan Mason till the summer. Good afternoon to Daniel. Dan Davenport. Hello, Dan. Said, hi, South. Sky Sports News reported at 8 a.m. this morning saying that that they expect Conte to be sacked very soon. Listen, if he is sacked, is anyone going to be shocked? There's the question I'll ask you all in the chat. There's the question I'll ask everyone in the chat. Is anyone going to be shocked if he's not the manager for the next game? Everton away. Is anyone going to be shocked if he's not the manager? Let's rephrase that. Would you be more shocked if he was manager for the Everton game or not? What do we think? Steve has said it's the heritage of the Tottenham. Yeah, we've heard that one before. Yes, Joe. Uncle Joe, how are you? Views on Spurs has said, why is the Italian Tony Pulis still here? Sack him. It's amazing, isn't it? Everyone's got so many different opinions on Conte and the owners and this club. Listen, it keeps it interesting. Don't get me wrong. One day we'd love to just be Man City, but at the moment it keeps it interesting. Billy has said, would you rather Conte see out the last 10 games or Mason? I don't think it matters, Billy, if I'm really honest. I don't think it matters. We're not playing good football anyway. Kane will keep digging us out of holes and score goals. I don't really care, if I'm honest. I've literally reached that stage where I genuinely don't care. I used to be like really, really Conte out. And now I'm just like, oh, who cares? What's the point? Big up to Errol, who's in the chat. Daniel Cena has said, would you rather Man U sign Kane for 100 million or meet Napoli's reported 133 million valuation of Victor Osimhen? I don't understand the question, if I'm really honest. You saying, I don't understand the question. Sorry. Big up, Mick. Peter Sam, hats off to Conte. I would have said hats off to Conte until he retracted it. The end for Conte is close. Let's see. Chema said Conte and the armpit hair on his head. Dwex has said Conte is a paycheck manager and needs the best squad to win the league to win it. I would say most managers would fall into that bracket. No, Dwex. By the way, I don't believe any other manager takes over and wins anything at Tottenham. I think we're well past that stage now. I don't think this is about winning things now. I think this is about, we've become a circus. It's become the Antonio Conte show, for right or for wrong. And I just can't see him being it. I really can't. Chema said, cab for Conte and that armpit on his head. No one made excuses for the players, but they've made shitloads for Conte and his tactics or lack of them. Chris said, to purchase TV, he's turned on the players, and we all know how much these players run to Levy, and we all know the outcome. Just look at Nuno. 20 years, there is the owner. They won nothing. Why? Yeah, listen, I hear you, Billy. I hear you. But, Billy, what did he then go and do yesterday? He had he had a meeting with the board and told them it wasn't about them. For me, if you're going to call it out, go all guns blazing. Just shooting everything up. Go all guns blazing. And then if he's sacked, we can all go, there you go, he's called out the board. But retracting it, I don't know. It just kind of muddies that water for me. Only me. But, hey, Jazz Fusion's in the chat and said Conte knows he's leaving and wasn't going to let the organisation skate on the way out. Easy when it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, look, I don't see there's any legs in him being Spurs manager anymore. I truly don't. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. Rafa said, Sava, can you unblock me from Hemorrhoid TV? I watch all the time and was blocked for absolutely nothing. Just having his opinion. I'll speak to Henry and see what he says, mate. Who have we got? Views on Spurs said he has to go. Sue said he's lost the dressing room for sure. Peter said, while we're in the hunt for fourth, Levy won't sack him. Yeah, I would agree with that. But the comments, I just don't know. Does that throw extra fuel on the fire? Does that mean that he gets sacked? Keep smashing the like button, people. There's 174 of you in here and only 55 likes. HN 123456789 has said, what kind of caliber manager will Spurs go for next? They may choose Poch as the board's bulletproof vest. I just think it needs to be someone who's not a win now manager, because they're not going to win now. And unfortunately, when you look at Klopp's, when you look at Pep's, Conte's, Jose's, these are win now managers. They win now wherever they go. I'm not sure that we're that club, and I don't think we're anywhere near being that club, unfortunately. The owners we can talk about in a minute, but by hook nor crook, we're not that club. And that's why when everyone just said just back him, I just think there's so much more to it than just backing him. I think there's a lot of players that won't come to Tottenham. The type of centre-backs he would want, I don't think would join Spurs. I don't think we're as attractive as our competitors. Billy has said, I think it's impossible for him to go back to the dressing room now, but it's time to start holding these weak-minded bottle players accountable. Well, they've got to sell them. They've got to sell them, haven't they? Giving players like Davis and Dyer new contracts. What are they going to do with Sessegnon? Is he going to get a new contract? Tanganga, all these types of things. Levy Out said, to be honest, I'm happy to keep Conte if all the energy goes towards the owners, because we've seen it so many times. Conte is a hero purely for what he said in my eyes, regardless of the football. For me, he's not said anything. This is the problem, Levy Out. For me, he retracted what he said about the owners. So I'm not sure he is a hero. A hero would be walk out. Walk out now, forget the money for 2 months, walk out, and we all go, fair play to you. But at the moment, has he done that? I'm not sure. Hulk Sarai said Conte out and Potter out. Okay, cool. Tequila has said, still doesn't, is football boring the pants off me? Would rather watch him do angry pressers for 90 minutes. Yeah, I agree. I think what we've got to remember in this as well is I do feel that what he did Saturday has, again, taken the blame off of him for any accountability. Do I believe it's all him? No. Do I believe that every manager at every club has accountability for results? Of course. Whether that be Pep Guardiola, whether that was Sir Alex Ferguson, Wenger, Jose, all of these managers have to take accountability when you lose and the praise when you win. There has to be equal measures of blame and praise. Let's have a look. Paul Brown has said, to be honest, lost a certain amount of respect for him when he started to flip-flop, deviating blame from players to board and back again. Stand by original conversation and call out the ball for once. I think that's the thing where I am with it, that I think he really did need to just stick with it. At the moment, what it looks like is he just got angry and deflecting. But if he hadn't have retracted, you would have said, cool. But he did. So I don't know. It's just the circus that is Tottenham, isn't it? Hod God has said Conte has credit in the bank, and I think the squad should take on board what he's saying. Who's he got credit in the bank with? Not with Tottenham, I don't think. Sorry. Chema said Newcastle and Brighton win their games in hand and Spurs are sixth. Yeah. Peter says, bang on with your comments, Sava. Absolute shambles of a club. He's called them out regardless of him going back on it. Yeah, listen, absolutely. I mean, I feel like for me, as I said, if he walk now, don't get sacked, walk now, say, I don't do this anymore, I'll have so much respect for him. And then I will see it fighting the system. At the moment, it just looks to me, and this is only me, I don't speak for anyone else in the community, for me, yeah, that it looks like he's just had a massive rant, thrown his toys out the pram, and then he's gone back on certain aspects of it about the board. Paddy has said, Savage, do you feel like the pragmatic managers like Conte and Mourinho don't have a place at the top of the game? Look, there's a place for them because they keep getting jobs, but whether or not people like it is a different matter. And I think for me, I don't like that style of football. I think that pragmatic football is great if you've got the top players that can play that concentrated style of play. I don't think we've got that. And this is the thing, we're asking players to play something that they're not capable of. Levy Out said, if Conte gets set, I hope he exposes everything, all of them upstairs, including the players. Let's see it. Let's see it. Daniel said, what did Conte expect seriously with this squad? Well, this is what I mean. I don't know, when he joined and he signed for 18 months, surely he saw the caliber of the squad. I don't know. This is why I didn't understand it as a fit for the club, Daniel. I didn't understand Conte as a fit for Tottenham Hotspur, and I've maintained that. As I always say, forget whether I like his football or not. I just didn't see it as a fit. I didn't see him as a fit. Big up Carl. He said, big up Sav. I just came back from the cinema. I went to watch Creed 3. Hope you enjoyed it. I haven't even seen. Is there a Creed 2? I haven't seen them, I don't think. Philly, big up my man. I said, no, I want Conte to walk so Levy can play his trump cards. Yeah, you want Poch back? Is that why? Is that what you're talking about there? Daniel said, this proves that so-called elite managers can't do it with weaker squads, or is Conte all that good? I think that most top managers won't be able to do it with lesser squads. I think that's natural. I think that's natural. Yeah, I really, really do. Mo has said, good afternoon, Sava. Who do you want to come in, and how much time should we give him? Listen. This is an open-ended question, right, Mo? For me, I just think the next manager that comes in, it can't be a Jose or Conte type. It can't be a Simeone. It needs to be somebody that's going to build, somebody that's happy with younger, less experienced players and wants to build and grow. Like when Poch was here before. I'm not saying Poch. I'm just saying like that experience. That for me is what I think they need to do. I don't think we're ready to win. And I know people keep having a go at me about that, but I don't think we're ready to win. I don't think he was ever a right fit. I think the owners have built what they've built, right? They've built what they've built. And unfortunately, Conte is now the next victim of what they've created, which is a club that aren't ready to win things. Shara said, how come you changed the name, Sav? I didn't even know this was your channel. Just because I want to move away from doing purely Spurs. I do find it a little bit repetitive. So I like doing my Spurs bits a few times a week. But I'm now going to start doing shows with lots of other Cubs fans. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m, we're starting a brand new show called The Football Throwdown. And I've got an Arsenal fan on, a Man United fan, a City fan, a Chelsea fan, and a Liverpool fan. So we've got lots of fans from different clubs to get their perspective. Green, who said he retracted it? Well, Sky Sports have reported it. Alistair Gold reported it, that he explained to the board yesterday that it wasn't about them. Did he not? That's what I'm seeing all over Sky Sports. But look, hey, this is, again, what we've been told. Sorry, Sean's messaging me about going on We Are Tottenham TV. That'd be interesting. I've never been on with them before. Danny has said, I wonder all the Spurs fans who slagged off other Spurs fans for wanting Conte out after slagging off the board. I wonder if these fans are going to criticise him for retracting it. Look, Dan, I think the key thing for me is this. I think a lot of the wording he used, there were little digs at the board, but I don't think there was enough there to say, you guys are at fault. And if there was, just come out and say it. Let's not read between the lines. Let's have him come out and go, the owners are not on the same page as me. I'm walking. I said to you, brilliant, go. Do it. Walk away a hero. At the moment, what he said was very wishy-washy for me. Very wishy-washy. D-Trey has said Conte blasted all of them. Yeah, but as we just said, and then retracted what he said about the board, right? So I'm not sure. Foxy, big up, mate, has said, if Levy can sack a manager days before a cup final, surely he can sack Conte now. I think by this time next week, mutual consent deal will be done. I mean, look, this does feel like an opportunistic moment, but look, it leaves us in that position again, and we're just in a mess, aren't we? The owners have got a lot to answer for, and unfortunately, they never have to. I don't know. It's been like this for many years, many years. Nothing's changing. Dermot, thank you so much from THFC Till I Die. Get over there and subscribe to Dermot, one of Spurs' good guys. I said Conte will be gone by Everton, in my opinion, but the players have to take responsibility. Conte was right about the players. Big up Sava. Yeah, I listen, I don't doubt that Conte was right about some of the players. I genuinely don't. I'm not knocking him for that at all. I do feel that he has to take blame. I feel like this, as we keep saying, Dermot, there's a big blame pie and there's lots of slices to go around. I don't think this is just the owners. I don't think this is just the players. I don't think this is just the manager. I don't just think this is the director of football. I think it's all of them. Daniel said, people say, how can we lose to Villa at home? But I can honestly say Villa are better at the moment. Bar Kane, I don't think there's any difference in squads. Quite possibly. You could be possibly right. Sorry, so many comments. I'm trying to get to as many of them as possible. We'll go for another 10 minutes, another 10, 15 minutes. Let's have a look. Who's making some points? Big up, Trev. How you doing, my man? Hope you're well. He said, what is it? Him that had retracted or club statements have? I've not seen a statement from Conte. Well, yeah, listen, again, good point. I think if we use the word retracted, that may be the wrong word. Sorry, I've got a really hoarse throat today. I think that may be the wrong word. I think when we look at what he said, I still think, Trev, let me know in the comments, mate. What do you think? For me, I think he took a couple of little jabs, but nothing that could knock you out. Do you know what I mean? It was like he put in a few body blows to the owners, but didn't come out with a killer strike. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Look, it's just the club. As I said, the whole thing's a shambles. The whole thing is a shambles. I've said that time and time and time again. The whole thing. Proud to be a Geordie. Said Conte knows how to get fans of other clubs on the side, just not fans of the club he's at. He's a clever man. He knows what he's doing. Let's be really, really honest. He knows what he's doing. Moa said, let's hope we bring in Poch and get some trophies with sexy football. I mean, look, whoever comes in, the first thing for me is I want to see a manager build an ethos and a team. And I think we need to get away from these circus-type press conferences after every game. And unfortunately, when you hire a winner, that's the standards they're at. We've got a winning manager, but not a winning side. And that was always going to be the problem. Trevor's back saying, knowing how crafty Levy can be to manipulate the press. Yeah, listen, Trev, listen, I'm not blaming anything here. I'm not knocking Conte for what he did. For me, I'll say this. People can clip this all they want. For me, I said this ages ago. He should have done this in the summer. When he had that transfer window that we all said he wasn't backed, that is when he should have done it. I would have loved him to have done it then. And I said this back in the summer. You've had a crap transfer window. They've given you crap players. Walk. Show. Stand up. For me, I think he's made too many comments since of Eric Dyer's a good defender. I don't need defenders. I'm happy with my squad. We're doing this. We're building that. And then all of a sudden it all comes out in a wrath of fury. For me, that's my only annoyance of what happened is that I think he's waited to deflect because he's now not winning games he should be winning. That's my frustration with it. He should have done it in the summer. Oh, I don't know where I stand with all this. It's just Spurs, isn't it? Tequila, thanks for clearing that up. They didn't make it. They didn't bother making Creed 1 or 2. They went straight to number 3. Good. Let's have a look. Sammy Mehmet, big up, has said, hi, Sava, I'm not sure Levy will sack him with 4th place still up for grabs. He won't want to pay him compensation. Unless he walks, can't see him going yet. If he does go, Mason will come in. Yeah. Look, you could well be right. Look, it's a soap opera. It's a soap opera. Let's call it what it is. This club is always going to be the same. We are a soap opera. Yeah? Whatever happens, we're just going to be a mess. Yeah. Sorry. Whatever happens, we're just going to be a mess. And I just don't know how this changes. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm being asked to go on Tottenham TV at 3:00. So we are Tottenham TV. So that should be interesting. They've never had me on there before, so I don't know why now. Strip Bear, love that. I said, I'm completely impressed with Conte. He wasn't brilliant for Chelsea, but we did win us the league. So I hope he gets his way. Fair enough. Look, fair enough. Clement has said, Savra and Conte out. Moa says, Savva, you're right. We won't do jack shit if Lewis and Levy at Spurs. It's a lost cause, sadly. We have to copy the Leipzig model. There's lots that we need to copy. But yeah. Jacob's in the chat said, big up, Savva. Peter, I'll go on. Listen, it's not about whether it's good for my channel. I'll go on to We Are Tottenham TV. I'll happily stream with any football YouTubers. I think it's good to stream with people. Anybody that hasn't subscribed, please do, guys. We are now 250. No, I can't count. No, I can count. No, I can't. We are 263 away from 4K in less than a year. So I'm really proud of that. If anyone hasn't, please go over and subscribe to my channel. I would be really, really, really grateful. Let me know if you do go over and subscribe so I can say thank you. I'm putting the link in the chat. Before the end of the show, can we get to 3,750? We're on 3,738 at the moment. Can we get to 3,750? And I thank you all so much for all of your support. It really does mean a lot to me, as I do enjoy doing this. Crimson Cat said, hey, Sava, how you doing, man? I hope you're all right. I think a takeover is the only way out. It just depends on whether the owners want to sell. I've said that all along. I want them to sell. But it's up to them if they sell, isn't it? It's up to them if they sell. So please keep smashing that subscribe button. And let's take it from there. He said the truth, the players don't love the club. Yeah, listen, I'm not knocking him for that. Stinking Lynchy plays said, let's get Ralph Hasenhüttl. He had Southampton very entertaining to watch and very open and attacking. Just don't be upset about league position. I don't think anyone said that. I feel like when people like me say they want to watch some better football, people like you take it to the extreme and think that we want gung-ho, the 4 centre forwards playing every game and to win games 5-4. I don't think anyone said that at all. You're just being silly there, I'm afraid. Getting any questions you've got, we're going to go for another 10 minutes maximum, maybe another 5 minutes. There's so many comments. I can't believe how many people are in here over lunchtime. Please go over and subscribe to Perchy as well. Perchy, put your link in the chat. There's 226 of you here. If you can get him in the chat, that would be, if you could get him up to the 500 mark really, really quickly, that would be absolutely brilliant. Let's do that, please, people. Let's do that. Thank you very much, Yuri. Thank you. Listen, I'm trying my best. I used to have a channel, and unfortunately I stopped it at the time due to a few personal things. I wish I hadn't, because I think I'd be flying now. But listen, started this channel on April the 13th, 2022. So we're 3 weeks away from that, 4 weeks away from that, and nearly at 4K. So I'm really, really proud of what I've done. And thank you to all of you. Cheers, Errol. Francis has said, hi, so how come you change your channel's name? Because I'm not just going to be doing Tottenham anymore. I think there's so much more to talk about than just Tottenham. So I'm going to be doing Tottenham content. My Spurs review will stay the same, but we're going to be doing shows with lots of other people. As I said, tomorrow, starting a new show, 10 p.m, the Football Throwdown, with fans from Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, and Newcastle, to talk about their clubs, see what's going on there. Guys, get your comments in. I am going to wrap up the show in 2 minutes. Can I please kindly ask before we do, can 5 of you who haven't subscribed? There's 230 of you. Can 5 of you who haven't subscribed jump over and subscribe? It would be much, much appreciated. And let's get the likes. We're 5 likes away from the 100. So if we can get 5 more likes, that'd be brilliant. Look, let's round it off with this. Okay, let's round it off with this. Was Conte right for doing what he did? I believe in parts he was. Was he wrong? Depends what his aim was. If it was to get sacked, if it was to call out the board, if it was to completely disrupt Tottenham, then I don't think he was wrong in any way. Has he retracted? I don't know. That's the reports. Not really retracted. He said that that's not what he meant. All I know is, will anything change? I'm not sure. All I know is the next manager can't be a win now manager. The club is turning into a bit of a circus. And I think it's really, really sad. So thank you for the 2 people that just subscribed. 3 more before we close the show. Who's going to be the 3 to go over and subscribe? Come on, people. Big up to Phil P in the chat. Phil, do you like my sexy voice today? It's nice and husky. Big up to Trev in the chat. There's some good people in the chat. Loads of wicked people. Jolly Sports has said, breaking news, Sheikh Jassim is preparing for his second bid for Man U. Why can't it be Tottenham? Why can't it be Tottenham? Please, someone buy us. Please, please, please. Anyway, people, I will leave it there. I was just planning on doing a quick half hour. Hope you're well. Please join me. I will be on We Are Tottenham TV. I think it's either going to be at 3 or 3:45. Come and join me over there. show some love in the chat, because some of the people in those comment boxes don't like me at all. Show some love, stick up for me, help them subscribe to me, and much love. See you all soon. Thanks, Phil. I love you too.